is a presentation of BFA Sports.
Game 4, final game of the College Dreamstream series. It's between the New Jersey Riot and Titus Academy's 17 under squad. Riots are going with their 16 and under squad once again. They tacked on 7 runs and won 7-1 against the Boilermakers in Game 3 of the College Dreamstream series. Titus lost Game 1, or Game 2, I should say, of the College Dreamstream series, their first game of today, and they're trying to avoid going 0 for 2. Riot trying to go 2-0. And Jack Cassidy takes the hill for the New Jersey Riot, and Gavin Miller will be the first batter for Titus as he drills one over to shortstop. It's Mason Gray. First pitch is a ground out as Mason Gray converts for the first out of the game. And with that, we'll look at the defensive order for the Riot. Alec Ritchie's behind the plate. Colton Orahel is over at first base. Ryan Crean at second. Mason Gray, as we mentioned, is at short. Andrew Robinson is at third. Drew Keefe, the starter of the Riot's first game. It was Game 3 of the College Dreamstream series. He's in left field. Nate Jackson in center. And Colin Murray is in right. Now in steps Joey Russo, the starter for Titus today. And the final game of the College Dreamstream series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app at Frank Wolfgang Baseball Field in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. First pitch, or next pitch, I should say, is a strike. Next pitch from Jack Cassidy is just a bit outside, maybe a little low as well, 2-2. Jack Cassidy, St. Joseph Academy in Hamilton, 5'9", 140 pounds. Also played in the infield in the Riot's first game. 3 balls and 1 strike for Cassidy. Joey Russo's teammate Hunter DiCarlantonio had the start in Game 1 for Titus as he draws a walk. First base runner of the game goes to Russo. And they're going to immediately call time and have a discussion just with the pitching coach and Jack Cassidy. See what they're going to be talking about, as Austin Sherman, the only person on this team who has committed to a college. He's going to Alvernia after this spring season. They're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Russo, the pitcher. It'll be Miller coming in to run for Russo after his ground out. He'll be the base runner for Russo so he doesn't get hurt. Throw back to first, not in time. Titus Baseball Academy win against the Philly Bandits and did not score a run. Trying to turn that around in their second and final game of the College Dreamstream series. Swing and a miss from Sherman. 1-1. Next pitch is off speed. Miller takes off, no throw, and he'll get the stolen bag with ease. Austin Sherman lifts one into left field. Under it is Drew Keefe making the read and making the catch for out number 2. The runner will stay at second base, and in steps Chase Pritchett. Chase Pritchett from Smyrna High School in Delaware, catcher and infielder, and can pitch as well. The right-hander at 6'2" and 190 pounds. Expected to graduate in 2026. It's a mixed bag when these players are expected to graduate. A lot of 26 and a lot of 25. For Riot, it's a lot of 2027. The only person that's expected to graduate in 2026 is Drew Keefe, the guy who just made the play and left. Next pitch, laced out into center field. This might drop, and it will. Titus Academy going to race around third, I should say, and score. And Gavin Miller will score the first run of the game. And this is something a little different for the New Jersey Riot, and they're down 1-0. First time being down today. Won first game 7-0, or 7-1. We're up 7-0 pretty much the whole game until the final inning. And now they're down 1-0 with Gavin Miller scoring. All the way from second base on the single from Chase Pritchett. Mike Deloso steps in for Titus Baseball Academy. Takes high and in. 1-0. Mike from Delaware as well. Mainly an outfielder and second baseman. Takes again. 5'9" height with 150 pounds to him. Next pitch. High and in again. Has to lean back. 3-0 count for Jack Cassidy in his battle against Deloso. He's already got 2 outs in the first. Has already given up a run. But Titus really getting back into the groove of things after their first game going scoreless. Next pitch is a strike. 3-1. Wormburner over to shortstop. Mason Gray over to first. In time for out number 3, but not before an RBI single from Chase Pritchett gets the scoring started between the Titus Baseball Academy and the New Jersey Riot. We'll be right back here on BFA with Game 4 of the College Dreamstream series. Final game of the College Dreamstream series presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. In steps the starting pitcher Jack Cassidy. He's a middle infielder as well. But he pitched a solid inning, only giving up 1 run in the first. Pokes one the other way, foul. But for Titus Baseball Academy, it's Joey Russo getting the start for Titus. Joey Russo came up and was a base runner in the first inning, getting on with the walk. Gavin Miller ran for him. But Joey Russo from St. George's Tech in Delaware. Can pretty much play anywhere in the infield and can catch. 6'1", 175 pounds. Just outside for Cassidy. 2-1 count for Jack Cassidy as he calls for time. The New Jersey Riot trying to continue their offensive barrage that they had in their first game not too long ago as Cassidy takes 3-1. They won 7-1 against the Boilermakers. Now they're trying to tack on more runs in the next game, just around 20 minutes after their last pitch. And Cassidy draws a walk on the very first at-bat. He gave up a walk and a hit in the first inning, and now Cassidy will get on base with a walk of his own. In steps Mason Gray. Mason Gray was the second baseman in the Riot's first game. Now he's at shortstop with their prior shortstop of Cassidy now being the starting pitcher. Gray swings through for strike 1. Gray in the first game went 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That came back in the first inning of their game against the Boilermakers. Swings through for strike 2. Gray not too happy with himself, 0-2. Just got Jack Cassidy at first. The 0-2 pitch from Russo. Inside and a little bit low as well. 1-2. Next pitch is fouled away, 2-2. Or excuse me, 1-2. Next pitch from Russo. Hit the other way down the left field line. After it is Avant. He tries to dive, but he can't get there this time. And Jack Cassidy's going to race around second. He'll head for third. It'll be a stand-up double for Mason Gray after the dive by Avant in left field. But he could not get the leather to get on it this time. Made a diving play in their first game, but he couldn't come up that time with that one. And Mason Gray will be on base with a stand-up double with Cassidy at third. 2 runners on early for the Riot. It's exactly what happened in the first game. Looking strike for Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson got an RBI single in his first at-bat in their first game. Got on base twice and was able to score a run as well. Looking for another RBI opportunity to capitalize on. He takes outside again. Looks at the second strike. Two runners in scoring position in the bottom of the first. Time called by Robinson. He'll regroup. Russo is set. Next pitch is too high. Tried to drop in the off speed, but couldn't backdoor Robinson. Corners are in, but the middle infielders are playing a little back, even though they got 2 runners at scoring position. Poked the other way over to second. They'll just get the force at first. Throw to first is in time, and a run scores, and this game's tied at 1 between Titus and the New Jersey Riot. Cassidy will score, and the ground out will convert into an RBI for Andrew Robinson. Mason Gray is over at third base now, so a runner a base away for Alec Ritchie, who also got an RBI ground out in his first at-bat of Game 1. Pitch is taken inside. 1-0. Alec Ritchie from Paul IV, 5'7", 165 pounds, can play first base and the outfield, but he's the catcher today. It's inside. 2-0. Cleanup batter for the Riot. Final game of the College Dreamstream series. It'll continue tomorrow. It's poked the other way into right. It's a little shallow. Coming in on it is the right fielder. He makes the catch. No tag. So they're able to get a good relay coming in. So Jonathan Downs in right field, able to make the play. Be ruled an F9 in the books, and Colton Orahel steps in for the Riot with a runner at third. Only 1 runner on, just 2 outs in the first. Leading run at third. Outside half for a strike. 0-1. Next pitch. Backdoors the slider. 0-2. Joey Russo finding the plate really well against Orahel. Just a little bit too low for Colton Orahel. He's from Clearview High School, 5'10", 155 pounds. He's a catcher and first baseman and pitcher for the Riot. 1-2. Called strike 3, painted at the letters. But it's tied at 1 in the first inning. And Colton Orahel will be the first strikeout victim for Joey Russo. We'll be right back with the top of the second, Game 4 College Dreamstream Series. You don't want to miss it right here on BFA. Six, seven, eight due up in Game 4 College Dreamstream Series. New Jersey Riot taking on Titus Baseball Academy. It's Jack Cassidy taking the mound still, and that ball will be ripped into center field. One pitch, one hit for Titus, and then Reed Mamula getting a one-pitch hit off of Jack Cassidy. Already has a run given up. That was back in the first inning with an RBI single from Chase Pritchett. And now Reed Mamula trying to continue that momentum into the second. In steps Zen Sobocinski. Throw back to first is not in time. Zen and Brant Karan are also due up in this second inning. Jack Cassidy delivers a first pitch ball to Sobocinski. Called a strike on the inside part of the zone. It's 1-1. A 1-1 game in the top of the second. Both squads picking up a run in the first inning, and Jack Cassidy is going to get a conversation with the third baseman, Andrew Robinson. Trying to just get the confidence up a little bit. Fastball delivered on the on the outside half of the plate, but it's going to be caught by Nate Jackson in center for the first out of the second inning. Good pitch, good hitting, but really good fielding to get the first out for the top of the second. Now in steps Brant Karan. He's got a runner at first still, with Mamula being at first after his first pitch single. Another fastball down the heart of the plate, over to the shortstop, and it gets over Gray's glove into center field. It gets past the center fielder, and they're going to take advantage. Slide into third safely is Mamula. So now Brant Karan at second base after the mistake. It'll be ruled a single, but an error as well. Two runners in scoring position for Titus Baseball Academy, and it's been a lot of fastballs for Jack Cassidy that have been hit by Titus Baseball Academy, and they've been catching too much of the zone, and they've been capitalizing on each of them that's delivered by Cassidy. In steps Jonathan Downs. He's from Conrad School of Science in Delaware, so he takes a first pitch ball. It's a pitcher and an outfielder, 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. Hit the other way, leaking foul. 1-1. Still only one out in the second. Next pitch. Drilled over to third base. He's going to look over at second to keep him there. Throw to first is in time, and a run does score for Titus. They get the lead back. It's 2-1 in the second. So you got the ground out RBI. Just passed the baton off to Steven Catalina, the shortstop for Titus. Slider finds the zone. 0-1. Cassidy from the stretch. Too low. 1-1. Catalina from Silacinium School in Delaware. An outfielder at 5'10", 160 pounds. And it plunks Catalina. He'll get on first base. Now 2 runners on for Titus. In steps Bakir Avent. Takes a high fastball. 0-1 count for Bakir. Runner takes off and it'll be no throw. So Karan at third now. No runner moving at first. Catalina stays there. Surprised they didn't go with the double steal. Runners on the corners. Outside. 1-1. Or excuse me, 2-1. Now the runner takes off and Catalina will have no coverage at second, so he'll steal it with ease. 2 runners in scoring position for Titus. 2 outs in the second. Got the lead back with an RBI ground out from Johnny Downs. Inside, and that's ball 4. Bases loaded for Titus. Trying to capitalize with more runs, and this is a completely different approach that they've had in this game. Just attacking with small ball and trying to make sure that they can just get base runners and create pressure on the Riot, as they got a loss against the Philly Bandits, who came into Doylestown with a mission, and their mission was successful. So they went 2-0 in their first 2 games, and only 2 games that they played, scoring 4 runs in both and holding the Boilermakers to 3 runs and Titus to 0. But now Titus is up 2-1 against the Riot, with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second inning. In is the catcher, Jeremy Driscoll. Ruled a strike. Driscoll from St. Mark's High School in Delaware, catcher and outfielder, 3.30 GPA. 5'10", 175 pounds. Waved at and miss a little early on the off speed. 0-2 for Driscoll. 0-2. Lifted in the air to left center field. Under it is Nate Jackson, and he makes the catch for the 3rd and final out. They pressure with the bases loaded, but they get an RBI ground out from Jonathan Downs to get the lead back. It's 2-1 in Game 4, College Dreamstream Series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. 6, 7, 8 due up for the New Jersey Riot, the home squad against the Titus Baseball Academy in Game 4 College Dreamstream Series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app at Frank Wolfgang Field at Delaware Valley University. Colin Murray, Nate Jackson, and Drew Keefe all due up. In this bottom of the second inning, already 2-1, Titus leads. So they got the lead back in the second. There'll be no play after the miscue from second baseman of Mamula. Colin Murray, an early base runner, so he'll leg out an infield single. Now in steps Nate Jackson, the center fielder. Riot trying to get the game back to where it was, a tie ball game, or even get the lead. Jackson shows bunt, but it's ruled a strike. So Titus was able to score one run in the top of the first and the top of the second. And Riot was able to score one run in the bottom of the first and trying to get one or more in the second, with Titus getting the lead back. It'll be a free bag from Colin Murray on the wild pitch. So now Nate Jackson has a runner in scoring position. Joey Russo still on the mound for Titus. Jackson shows bunt. It's popped up down the first base line. A diving play by Driscoll, and he slams his glove into the ground in frustration after just barely getting it off his glove and hitting the grass. So it'll be ruled another strike for Jackson, and 2-strike count goes the center fielder. We'll see what he can do in this approach with a runner in scoring position. Called strike 3. Nate Jackson goes down on strikes looking. Be the second strikeout within 3 batters for Joey Russo. Second looking strikeout as well. His first one was looking by Colton Orahel to end the first. 1 out now in the second inning. Drew Keefe steps in. He puts one the other way over to second base. Fielded cleanly by Mamula in time for out number 2. 1 pitch, 1 out goes Drew Keefe, and in steps Ryan Crean with the runner in scoring position over at third base. Colin Murray able to advance after the ground out to second. See what Ryan Crean can capitalize with, as he was able to get on base with the fielder's choice in the first game they had against the Boilermakers. He was able to sacrifice, squeeze in a run as well. Ryan Crean takes the slider on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Ryan Crean from Washington Township High School, 5'8", 135 pounds. Takes high. 1-1. Down the middle and swings through it for strike 2. Strikeout 4. Ryan Crean, the third on the day. The first one swinging for Joey Russo. And that'll do it for the second inning. They threatened with a runner in scoring position with the leadoff single from Colin Murray. But after that, the Riot go down 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Up bat again is the Titus Baseball Academy, and it's Game 4 of the College Dreamstream Series, coming back to you at the top of the third after this. Titus Baseball Academy back up to bat, as they are the road team in Game 4 of the College Dreamstream series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app, going up against the New Jersey Riot. Jack Cassidy still on the hill for the Riot. Going up against Bohanna. And then the lineup card will flip back over to Gavin Miller and Joey Russo in the third. Next pitch from Cassidy. Fouled up, popped up, I should say, into shallow right field. This one will drop down for a base hit. Perfectly placed hit for Bohanna. So Bohanna got jammed on a fastball by Jack Cassidy, and that's just unfortunate baseball if you're a pitcher. Good result of a hit for a pitcher, but just perfectly placed in shallow right field down the line, where pretty much no one could get it. Bohanna goes back to first in time. Now Gavin Miller steps in. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out that led off the game. Back to first, not in time again. 2-1 lead for Titus Baseball Academy. Shows bunt is Miller, but he holds back for a ball, 1-0. Time called by Miller. Call the strike, 1-1. Gavin goes to high school in Delaware, outfielder. 3.90 GPA, 5'11", 155 pounds. Takes low, 2-1. Still no outs in the third. Dropped bunt, but it's fouled straight back. 2-strike count, 2-2 for Gavin Miller. Titus lost their first game of the College Dreamstream series against the Philly Bandits. Trying to go 1-1 today as Gavin Miller puts one on the ground. This could be two. Flip to second for one is in time. Throw to first, not in time. They only get one guy out on the force out. On the fielder's choice, I should say. So Gavin Miller is at first. Bohanna will go back to the dugout after the force play at second. Now in steps Joey Russo, who scored the only run of this game after the Chase Pritchett single. Stole a bag, got in scoring position, and he's done a solid job as a pitcher, only giving up one earned run through 2 innings. Ball is lifted into left field. Barely moving out there is Drew Keefe, and he makes the catch for out number 2. In steps Austin Sherman. He's 0 for 1 with the flyout. Sherman from Delaware as well. 6'1", 185 pounds. Can pitch, catch, and play anywhere in the infield. He's got a runner at first with 2 outs. Cassidy delivers with a strike. Sherman frustrated with himself. 0-1. Next pitch is low. 1-1. Runner takes off, and there will be no throw. A lot of no throws from Riot from both games. It's just been easy stolen bases for the Boilermakers and now Titus Baseball Academy. Cassidy delivers another ball. Austin Sherman with a runner in scoring position. That ball is hammered into left field. Racing back is Drew Keefe, and it goes over his head, and it goes up against the wall. One will score with ease. Gavin Miller will touch home plate. It'll be a stand-up RBI double for Austin Sherman. It's now a 3-1 game for Titus Baseball Academy. Gavin Miller scores all the way from second base after getting on with the fielder's choice. But Titus Baseball Academy really getting back on track with hitting. High chopper over to shortstop. It goes under the glove of Mason Gray and trickles into left field. Another run will score after the mistake. It's now 4-1 in the third. Sherman scoring all the way from second base as Gray just had to put his glove on the ground, but the glove was just a little up and it squeaked under it for another run for Chase Pritchett. Another RBI as well. That ball's lifted down the left field line and it hooks just foul. Good rip from Mike DeLoso. He'll readjust his gloves and prepare for another pitch from Jack Cassidy. Throw back to first is not in time. We thank everyone for tuning in and spending their Saturday with us at Delaware Valley University for the College Dreamstream series. And DeLoso lifts one up in the air in foul ground towards the Riot bullpen, or excuse me, dugout, and it will go off the dugout. So it'll be a dead ball. Titus able to score 2 runs in this third inning, extending their 2-1 lead to a 3-run lead. They're able to get an RBI double from Sherman and an RBI error from Pritchett. Ball's too high. Cassidy glancing back at first at Pritchett, and a low fastball will be in the dirt for strike 3. Mike DeLoso goes down on strikes, and he's now 0 for 2. But the Titus Baseball Academy tack on 2 runs, and it's now a 4-1 game as we head to the bottom of the third inning. We'll be right back with the final game of the College Dreamstream series from DVU, presented to you by BFA. 10-1-2 due up for the New Jersey Riot. Their 16 and under squad taking on Titus Baseball Academy's 17 and under squad in Game 4 of the College Dreamstream series. Presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. Live from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. High chopper over to third base. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Joey Russo to start off the third inning. He's trying to keep a 4-1 lead that they were able to get 2 runs in the top half of the third. He's trying to keep it that way. Now we'll go back to the top of the order to the starting pitcher, Jack Cassidy, for the New Jersey Riot. First pitch is caught on the outside part of the plate for a strike. 1 count. Next pitch is fouled off the catcher. 0-2 to Cassidy. He got on base and scored the only run the Riot have scored. And it's interesting how baseball works. You can have a lot of momentum in a game that you play earlier in the day or earlier the other day. And now the bats go quiet in their second game. Scoring 7 runs against the Boilermakers. So far only scoring 1. Almost through 3 innings. Joey Russo set. Next pitch is hit the other way into right field. It falls down for a base hit. And Jack Cassidy getting a 1-out knock. Getting on base for the second time in their second game. And so far, he's been on base 4 total times today. Getting on base with a walk and a single in their first game against the Boilermakers. And he's got a walk and a single as well in Game 2. In steps Mason Gray. He got a double in his first at-bat. First pitch is taken too low. 1-0. Cassidy leads off at first. Ruled a strike. 1-1. Russo looking for a potential double play turn with only 1 out and a runner on. To get out of the inning. Gray chops one the other way, but it goes foul. 2-strike count for Mason Gray. Both top of the orders doing damage for both sides. Called strike 3. Mason Gray goes down looking. It's his second strikeout today. Both looking as well. And a great pitch from Joey Russo to get Gray frozen. It's his third today. All have been looking. Outside. 1-0 to start off Andrew Robinson's second at-bat. Got an RBI ground out in his first appearance. It's the only run that's been scored by the Riot. Next pitch is taken. Two 2-0. Jam shot through the right side for a base hit. Being a single that moves Cassidy over to second. And now in steps Alex Ritchie. Runner in scoring position for the cleanup batter. He's got a runner at first as well. Flew out in his first at bat in the first. Was over to right field. But now he's the tying run at the plate. Joey Russo eyes in on the catcher. Delivers a outside fastball. 1-0. It's coming out of the stretch now. Next pitch. Call the strike. 1-1. Russo stalking the second base. He's making sure that Jack Cassidy just stays at second, does not advance to third. And a 1-2 count to Alec Ritchie. Outside, as both runners will advance and go into scoring position. Driscoll will slide into the backstop to make sure that ball stays into his glove. But now 2 runners in scoring position. Cassidy at third, Robinson at second. Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Ritchie. Called, strike 3, as he drops the off-speed pitch right into the zone for the 4th looking strikeout by the Riot. We'll be right back on BFA with the College Dreamstream series of Game 4 between the Riot and Titus Baseball Academy. We'll be right back right after this. Mamula, Sobosinski, and Karan all due up for the Titus Baseball Academy in Game 4 College Dreamstream series presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. Titus Baseball Academy taking on the New Jersey Riot as it's the top of the 4th inning. And it's a 4-1 game. Titus leads in trying to make their Dreamstream series record 1-1, losing their first game against the Boilermakers. Riot won their first game 7-1 against the Boilermakers. Excuse me, Titus lost to the Philly Bandits earlier, sorry. But if the score keeps it going at what it is, both teams will be 1-1. Boilermakers already 0-2. Bandits came in bright and early this morning and did their job. Already 2-0 in this Dreamstream series. New pitcher out there for the Riot. It's Andrew Wire. Ball's in the dirt. It's Reed Mamula in as he got a single and a run scored back in the second inning. That led off the second. Andrew Wire from Delsey Regional High School, 5'6", 150 pounds. Delivers a rocket fastball down the right field line. It's poked, but it hooks foul. Still really good conditions for this October tournament. It's high, ball 4. So Reed Mamula gets on base with a leadoff walk. Third straight leadoff batter on base for Titus. In each of those innings, they were able to capitalize with at least one run. Now in steps Zen Zobasinski. Takes high, 1-0. That's ruled a strike. Next pitch is drilled over to shortstop. Field by Mason Gray. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first, it gets away. And it goes into foul area. Backed up by their catcher of Alec Ritchie. So the runner will stay put at first base after the fielder's choice. So Basinski at first. And Mamula will go back to the dugout after the force out. Now in steps Brant Karan. And it's the type of pitch and the type of result that you want if you're the new pitcher of Andrew Wire. Looked at for a strike by Karan. He got on base with a single, and then an error was made by the center fielder. So he was able to advance to second after the error. Off-speed pitch got a little bit too downstairs. It's 1-1. We're already an hour through this game. That ball's hit the other way into right. It's shallow. And it drops down for a base knock. So Basinski's got to race to second. But he's out after the throw made from the right fielder. Really good play from shallow right field to gun the guy out at second base. Colin Murray with the throw to make sure that they get the force out at second. It'll be ruled a base hit for Brant Karan. Just an out at second base. Here's Johnny Downs stepping in. Throw back to first is not in time. No tag applied. Downs got an RBI ground out in the second inning. High and in, swung through for strike 1. 0-1 count for Johnny Downs. Time taken. One pitch is popped up in foul ground. After it is Alec Ritchie. Almost made a play, but it got away from him. It'll still be 2 outs. Brent Karan stays at first. Down still the batter. New Jersey Riot taking on Titus Baseball Academy. Game 4, College Dreamstream Series. Here's the pitch from Wire. Called strike 3, and Downs goes down on strikes, and that'll be the first strikeout delivered from Andrew Wire. 3rd strikeout by Titus Baseball Academy. Titus up 4-1 against New Jersey Riot. We'll see if they can tack on some runs and see if they can crawl back in this game when we come back here on BFA. Here comes the New Jersey Riot, as it's Colton Orahel, Colin Murray, and Nate Jackson due up for the Riot. Colton 0 for 1 with a looking strikeout. He's looked at 2 strikes in his second plate appearance. Joey Russo with a lot of high velocity and great off-speed stuff. As Colton Orahel puts one on the ground to the second baseman. Throw to first in time, and Orahel will go back to the dugout after a ground out. In steps Colin Murray, who's 1 for 1 with a single and got all the way to third base but could not score. That was back in the 2nd inning. So right fielder made a really nice throw over to second base to get the force out over there after a ball dropped in front of him for a base hit. First pitch from Russo. Hit the other way, foul. It's a strong fastball from Joey Russo, and his counterpart in the first game, Hunter DeCarlo Lantonio, was really solid with his fastball that reached in the mid to upper 80s. Ball put on the ground over to shortstop, as Catalina will make the throw over to first in time for the 2nd out of the 4th. Back-to-back groundouts for Joey Russo. Now in steps Nate Jackson, who's 0 for 1 with a looking strikeout to his name as well. So far, Russo with 4 strikeouts. Or excuse me, 5 strikeouts in this game. As he ended the prior inning with a looking strikeout. He's had 5 strikeouts, 4 of them looking. Nate Jackson was one of the looking victims. 1-1. High and in. 2-1. Off speed, looked at for strike two. Both Titus and Riot have been working with the off-speed pitches on the inside part of the plate as right-handers, trying to backdoor them. It's a full count for Nate Jackson. Hardy has looked at strikes today. Russo trying to do the same thing in at-bat number 2. Called strike 3. Does it again, and it's his 6th strikeout in this game through 4 innings. And down go the Riot, 1, 2, 3. We'll be right back with the final game of the College Dreamstream series presented to you by BFA. Top of the 5th inning, Titus Baseball Academy taking on the New Jersey Riot. Game 4, College Dreamstream Series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. And it's Andrew Wire still on the mound in relief for his starting pitcher, Jack Cassidy. Gave up a couple base runners, but was able to get out of the inning scot-free. First pitch is upstairs to Stephen Catalina, the usual shortstop for Titus Baseball Academy. He rips one right back up the middle, but it's fielded cleanly by Mason Gray, or actually fielded uncleanly by Mason Gray, and it trickles into center field. It's been an issue for him. He's not been able to put his glove on the ground, and now his coach is telling him to put 2 hands on the ground to make sure that he fields it properly. But it's the second time a ball has gone over to his way, and it's been into center field afterwards. Runner takes off on the first pitch. Throw down to second is almost overthrown, but a great leaping grab from Ryan Crane at second base. But it'll be a stolen bag for Catalina. Bakir Avent is in. He got on base with the walk. His first at-bat, fouls one straight back. 1-1. Fourth and final game of this College Dreamstream series at Delaware Valley University, Frank Wolfgang Field. Off speed executed perfectly as Avent goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Andrew Wire. Still keeps the runner in scoring position at second base. Now in steps the catcher Jeremy Driscoll. He flew out in his last at-bat. That was back in the second inning. That ended the second. He drills one into left center field, and it'll split the gap for an extra base hit. Rounding third is Stephen Catalina. He will jog on home, It'll be a stand-up double for Jeremy Driscoll. Perfectly executed with the runner in scoring position. And now it's a 5-1 game in favor of Titus Baseball Academy. In steps Bohanna. He got on base with a base knock of his own in the 3rd inning. And he got out on the next play with the fielder's choice by Gavin Miller, the guy right after him. Wire delivers a strike. Great movement on that off speed. 0-1 count for Hana. Jammed on him as it goes on the ground over to third base, fielded by Andrew Robinson. Throw in time for out number 2. Now the lineup card flips back over to Gavin Miller. Now he's got a runner at third with Driscoll advancing from second. And Gavin Miller will try and execute with Miller just a base away from scoring. He's 0 for 2 today in game 4. First pitch is low, ankle level. Got into a fielder's choice and was able to stay on base safely. Steal a base and score a run in the 3rd inning. Also grounded out. That was in his first at-bat. Next pitch is inside, 2-0. 5-1 ball game in the 5th. Tied us up 4. In the dirt, ball 3. Looking to get on base for the 2nd time today. Wire delivers. A great pitch, but a beautiful hit by Miller into left center field. He'll round first. He'll head on over to second. The throw will be cut off by Gray, and it's an RBI double again, this time from Gavin Miller. Stands up safely for Titus Baseball Academy and delivers the 6th run of the ball game for Titus. Now in steps Joey Russo, the starter pitcher for Titus Baseball Academy. Outside pitch by Wire. 1-0 count. Fouled straight back, 1-1. Russo 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored, as well as a stolen base. Actually, he didn't steal the base. Gavin Miller did as a designated runner. Too high. 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-strike count now for Joey Russo. 2 outs in the 5th, with a runner in scoring position at second base. Saws him off, but it's popped up right to Andrew Wire, the pitcher, but it tips off his glove, and it goes foul. Alec Ritchie was the one in line to make the catch, but Wire called him off, and he had to lean back on his butt to try and get him out of the way. And Wire will claim it's his fault. Russo just verbally exclaimed that he does not know what he's doing. Next pitch. Off speed, foul the way. Hooking foul. Keep the 2-strike count alive. 2-2 count. With a runner at second. Just outside. 3-2. Off speed, saw it foul. Still a 3-2 count. Battling is Russo. Trying to get on base for the second time today. Wire set. The 3-2. Saw it off, and it's a grounder over to third base. A long throw for Andrew Robinson, and it's just in time for out number 3. 2 ground outs over to third base by Andrew Robinson. Both of them have been converted, but 2 runs were able to score for Titus Baseball Academy, and it's now a 6-1 ball game headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be right back with BFA and the College Dreamstream series in Game 4. Here at Delaware Valley University, Frank Wolfgang Field. College Dreamstream Series Game 4 on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. New Jersey Riot taking on Titus Baseball Academy. Titus Baseball Academy with their 17 and under squad. Riot with their 16 and under squad. 8, 9, and 10 due up for the New Jersey Riots. 2-0 count for Drew Keefe. The only guy expected to graduate in 2026 was the starter for the first game the Riot played in this College Dreamstream series. Hit the other way, foul. He's from Pittman High School, 6'1", 180 pounds. Utility guy who can play anywhere. Can even pitch, as he did in Game 1. In left field for this game. Now in a 3-1 count on Joey Russo. Russo only giving up 1 run, and that was back in the first. Other than that, he's been pretty clean. Inside fastball for a strike. 3-2. Has retired 4 straight batters. Trying to make it 5 in a 3-2 count on Drew Keefe. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. First base runner since Andrew Robinson in the 3rd inning. And now in steps Ryan Crean. Crean struck out in his first at-bat. The only guy going down on strikes. Swinging. Trying to turn around in at bat number 2. Puts one on the ground over to third base. He bats it down. Throw to first is still in time for out number 1. Now in steps Andrew Wire, the new pitcher for the Riot. And he also grounded out to third base as well. Trying to make sure he doesn't do the same. And Keefe was able to advance to second on the ground out. Called a strike. 0-1 count for Wire. Hit the opposite way towards the batting cage, foul. High and in. 1-2. Two and two. Russo looks back at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled straight back off the mask of the umpire. It's still 2 and 2. Everyone gets set, back and ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andrew Weir trying to move the runner over. Foul tipped into the glove for strike 3. The 6th strikeout for Joey Russo. Second one swinging. And now in steps Jack Cassidy, the starter for the Riot. And he's gotten on base twice. A walk, a run scored, both in the first. Also got over to third with a single in the third. Takes an inside fastball. 0-1 count. Gotten on base in both games, both twice. Total of 4. Off speed 2 inside, 1-1. It's been a beautiful day for October baseball for all 4 of these games. Just a little wind, but it never hurt anybody. Just coming in huge gust sometimes, but since the gusts, it's been rather calm. Taken outside again is Cassidy. Pitch from Russo. Runner takes off. Call the strike. Throw down to third. Not in time. No tag applied, so the runner will be safe. Now Cassidy in a 2-strike count after the stolen base from Drew Keefe. 2 outs in the 5th. Huge spot. Russo, the pitch. Ground ball over to third. It goes over the glove of the third baseman, and in comes a run. Jack Cassidy will take a big turn at first, and it's now a 6-2 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Riot tacking on another run, and we're going to pass the baton off to Mason Gray. Keefe was able to score. And Gray will put one on the ground over to shortstop. And it goes under the glove, but it stays in the infield. Catalina just stares at the sky in frustration, and 2 runners will be on base for the Riot, and the inning continues. Mason Gray was able to get on base after the shortstop error, and he's made 2 errors at shortstop of his own, and the juju goes over to Catalina as well. 2 runners will be on with 2 outs in the 5th. Russo fires in another strike. 0-1 count for Andrew Robinson. Another strike. 0-2. The 0-2 offering. Way upstairs as both runners will advance. So 2 runners in scoring position, and Jack Cassidy at third and Mason Gray at second base. One and two on Andrew Robinson. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and an RBI ground out. Called strike 3, and Joey Russo, 7 strikeouts for Titus Baseball Academy, and it's a 6-2 ball game as the Riot were able to tack on a run with an RBI single from Jack Cassidy. We'll be right back with the final moments of the 4th game of this College Dreamstream series presented to you by BFA. Of the 6 for Titus Baseball Academy. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the 17 and under squad, taking on the 16 and under New Jersey Riot. All speed backdoored on Austin Sherman. It's an 0-1 count for Austin. He's got an RBI double and scored a run. 0-2 count now as he fouls it away. Flew out in his first at-bat. Just outside the zone. 1 and 2. We're still on the mound. As it plunks Sherman. Hits him right in the glutes. And he'll get on first. Had him in a 2-strike count as well, but couldn't capitalize, and in steps Chase Pritchett. He's got an RBI in each of his at-bats. Got an RBI single and an RBI error. That one almost plunked Pritchett. Back-to-back pitches, 2 inside. Thankfully, it didn't hit Pritchett, as it unfortunately did for Sherman. 2 outside, a little low as well. 2-0. Pitch. Lifted in the air to right field. Under it is Colin Murray. Battling the sun, he races towards his left to make the catch for the first out of the 6th. First time Pritchett has been out in this second game for Titus Baseball Academy. They lost their first game against the Philly Bandits. They're trying to make sure it goes in their favor this time, as they're up 6-2 against the New Jersey Riot. We're set. Drops in a strike. 0-1 to Mike Deloso. This has the chance to be the final inning, as Weir steps off. Throws back to first. Not in time. Next pitch, 2 upstairs. We're having a troublesome time finding the zone in the 6th inning. Next pitch is all barrel into left center field. It drops down for a base hit. Running from second over to third is Austin Sherman. Throw will be just a little bit off target, and it'll be a double for Mike Deloso. Perfectly executed at bat, as again all barrel on that last hit. And now he passes the baton with 2 runners on to Reed Mamula. Only 1 out in the 6th. Fly out from Pritchett. Fouled straight back. 0-1 count for Reed Mamula. He's gotten on base twice with a walk and a single. After the single, he was able to score a run in the 2nd, the only run in the 2nd. Called strike 2. Well-placed fastball by Andrew Weir. He gets set with 2 runners on and 1 out. Off speed is lifted in the air to left field, potentially tagging is Titus, and it gets off the glove, so doesn't matter. There'll be 2 runs that will come in to score. Here comes Mike Deloso, and he will score with ease. It's now 8-2, Titus on top. Unfortunate play for Drew Keefe out in left field. Could have been 2 outs with only 1 run scoring, but it stays 1 out with 2 runners coming over to score after the error from Drew Keefe. Mamula at second. Shorman scored, and Mamula was able to capitalize with 2 RBIs. Sobocinski takes a strike. Drilled down the left field line, hooking foul. 8-2 ball game now in the 6th. Only 1 out still in the 6th. 0-2 count for Sobocinski. We're set. The 0-2. In the dirt, goes through the 5-hole, and the runner will take off for third. And Mamula takes third base after the wild pitch. So Basinski 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a flyout. Trying to turn it around with a runner in scoring position, a base away. Puts one on the ground over to third base. Throw from Andrew Robinson in time for out number 2, but it scores a run. An RBI ground out to third for Zubosinski, and now Brant Karan will come in with a 9-2 lead, but nobody on. He's gotten on base twice with 2 singles as it bounces off the catcher. So 1-0 count for Brant. Weir with a high rocket fastball at the letters, but it's fouled away by Karan. 1-1. Pitch from Weir is outside. 2-1. Karan's gotten both of those singles, as we just said, but he hasn't been able to score a run. Got to first only in the 4th inning and got all the way to third in the 2nd. So he chops one over to shortstop. Gray makes the play, and the throw will not be in time. Good block from the first baseman to make sure that Brant Karan just stays at first. But it'll be a 2-out base runner again for the Titus Baseball Academy. Be an infield single as Karan just blazed down the first base line. Karan can barely see. Needs some shades over at first base. He's got to put his hand up to see the pitcher Weir as the sun starts to set. Game 4 of the College Dreamstream series. Off speed drops in for a strike. 0-1 count for Jonathan Downs. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out. That was back in the 2nd. That scored Mamula. Just below the knees for a ball, 1-1. But Karan's gotten on base all 3 times in this 4th game of the College Dreamstream series. Runner takes off, and it's a looking strike for Jonathan Downs and an easy stolen bag for Brant Karan. We're set. The pitch. Hit the other way. Foul. Catalina due up. Andrew Weir trying to capitalize on another 2-strike account. He's already given up 3 runs in the 6th inning. 9-2 in the 6th. 2-strike pitches waved at. 4-strike 3. Another strikeout for Weir as it's his 3rd today, as he's gotten 1 in each inning. But he tacked on 3 runs, and the Riot really need to have a miraculous comeback in the bottom of the 6th, which could be the last inning for the Riot to come back, as we are due to time restraints. We'll be right back with Game 4 of the College Dreamstream series, presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. You don't want to go anywhere. likely than not the final inning of work for this final game of the College Dreamstream series presented to you by BFA and the Game Changer app. Titus Baseball Academy taking on the New Jersey Riot 16 and under squad. And it's 4, 5, and 6. Alec Ritchie, as well as Colton Orahel and Colin Murray. You guys due up in the bottom of the 6th. Almost got a piece of Ritchie. But it's going to be Jonathan Downs, the new pitcher for Joey Russo, who went through only 2 earned runs through 5 innings. Two inside, and Ritchie will take for ball 4. It's first time Ritchie's on base in this second game for the Riot. But not a great start for Jonathan Downs, as he got on base, or excuse me, he didn't get on base. He was, I believe, on the mound for game 1. Fires in a strike. Colton Orahel, 0 for 2. Grounded out in his last at-bat. Struck out as well. Hine and Cheese waved at for strike 2. He's got a runner at first with Ritchie. The leadoff walk. Down set. Waved at for strike 3. 3 pitches and an out. First strikeout for Jonathan Downs, and now he'll face Colin Murray. Murray 1 for 2, singled in his first at-bat, grounded out in the 4th. Downs throws back to first, tag not applied. Colin Murray playing right field today. Ball lifted the other way, foul. A 1 count for Colin Murray. Got all the way to third base when he got on base with the single. Didn't score though. Time called by Murray. Next pitch. Second strike. Nate Jackson on deck for the Riot. 2 looking strikeouts for Nate Jackson. Colin Murray trying to be another base runner to make a 7-run comeback. Called strike 3. Throw to second is not in time. 2 outs for the Riot with a looking strikeout from Colin Murray. We'll see if Nate Jackson can turn things around, since he has 2 looking strikeouts to his name. And Jonathan Downs looking to strike out the side. Delivers a first pitch ball to Nate Jackson. Jonathan Downs set. 1-0 waved at. 1-1. Nate Jackson very late on the fastball. 9-2 lead for Titus, and more likely than not the final inning of this game. In the dirt, great block from Driscoll behind the dish. 2-1 count. Jackson struck out in the 2nd and the 4th inning. Looking for something different in the 6th, with 2 outs and a runner at second. Ball lofted the other way, foul. 2-2. The Riot down 7 runs with a runner at second. Downs delivers. Called. Strike 3. And that will do it. That is the ball game. The College Dreamstream series today is over from Delaware Valley University. Frank Wolfgang Field and Titus Baseball Academy wins 9-2 against the New Jersey Riot. A fantastic Dreamstream series. Thank you guys for tuning in to either this game, a couple of games, or all 4 of these games live from Delaware Valley University. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Saturday.